Hi, welcome back to English 111 Online. The week of the following the 4th of July is summer break for Nash Community College, and so the college is closed. And there are no new assignments due for that week. However, I have gone ahead and made the following week, July 13th through 19th, available for you so that you can work ahead because I'd like for you to have your Core Project 3 essay completed or your rough draft completed so that you can submit it to Smart Thinking and get some feedback from that before the final Core Project 3, Core Project 4 essay is turned in on July 26th. Also, for the week of July 26th, in addition to polishing up and submitting your Core Project 4 essay, that will be a week that we will do the final essay that you have to do for your final exam. And so it's going to be crunch time right there at the end of the course. And I have to turn in, the actual semester ends on the 28th. And so the 27th and 28th, I'm going to be working really hard to get everything graded, Core Project 4s graded, final exam essays graded, and get your grades in because they expect quick turnaround on the grades once the semester ends. So by 9 o'clock on the 29th, I will have your grades posted. So this week, I need to cover some things regarding Core Project 4. We've already talked about it. You've had the document for a while. You've been doing your research for it. There was an outline for you to look at so that you could follow along with it. So you'd know what to put into your research. But I've given you a lot of sources for this week so that you can work in putting it together in an essay format instead of just your notes that you've been taking while you've been doing your research. So first of all, keep in mind here, this is an argument persuasive essay. It's research-based, and it is to be written in academic or professional style and tone. So we've talked about this before, that you're in academic tone, we don't use first person or second person. And so everything should be written in third person. So you want to avoid I, me, my, mine, myself, all of those things in the singular first person. And also the we, us, our, ours, which is really easy to slip into in persuasive writing, trying to convince somebody, but let's don't. Let's use the third person. And then don't refer to anything about the assignment in your writing. Just write and convince us that the solutions that you found for your problem are good solutions that are already working in certain parts of the world, and you'll have all the parts to your essay there, but you won't have any headings or subheadings, even if some of the documents that I gave you had some subheadings. We don't put those in. It's just paragraph to paragraph. And you don't want to have anything about, like, I plan to discuss, I will talk about in this paper, this essay is about, or anything like those. And certainly don't, if we avoid using I and me and mine, you also want to avoid I feel, I believe, in my opinion, or I think. That makes persuasive writing so weak to say. It just sounds like you're dismissing the validity of what you're saying, and you want to write with strong, forceful, I believe, this is the truth kind of writing. And so I feel, I believe, in my opinion, that all weakens your writing so much. So don't do that. And leave out second person too. You, your, yours, yourself. We're going to use words like people, they, citizens, one can do this, those types of things in third person and not anything in second person or first person. Okay, I have put the document for basic MLA format up here again for you. In the rhetorical analysis essay, most everybody got the basic MLA format fine, but there's a comment on yours if you did not. Times New Roman, 12-point font, double line spacing, your title is centered, you indent the first sentence of each paragraph, and you don't put extra spaces in between your paragraph because everything's already double line spaced. Your heading goes on the left side of the page, only on the first page. At the top margin, that will be your name, my name, the course name, and the date. And then you will insert a page number on the first page, and that will become your header for every page. And remember, you're going to insert the page number. You want to, once you insert, click on the insert. In fact, I can do it up here and show you. Once you click on insert right there, excuse me, you go all the way down until you find page numbers, and then you want to select the first one here that puts the page number over on the right side of the page. And then of course you will add your last name in front of the page number so that it'll be Lee 1, Lee 2, like that on every page, and it automatically is going to number for you, so that's fine. I'm just reminding you of all of this. We've been through it before, but just in case you've forgotten, because it's been a couple of weeks since we did the rhetorical analysis. Then there is MLA in-text citation and works cited page to avoid plagiarism. So to create your works cited page, which is a separate page, get to the end of your last paragraph, your concluding paragraph, insert a page break. And so again, you go up here to insert, you go down until you see break, and then you click on page break. And the page break will take you automatically to the next page, and then centered, you're going to have your title for that page, works cited. The entries on the works cited page should be in alphabetical order and according to the first word of your entry. Remember, if we have an author's name, that goes first. If we don't have the author's name, we skip that and go to the name of the title of the article. And so whatever that first letter is there, author's name or first letter of the title, that's how you alphabetize the entries. And they should be in hanging indent, which is something that I'm not going to be that strict about it, but to do a hanging indent, you can go to Format, and then down to align and indent, all the way down to options, and then down here where it says special indent, you can click on it and click on hanging and then apply it, and that will put your entry in a hanging indent style. So it's pretty easy to do. Of course, you have to highlight it to get it in that hanging indent style. All right, note that MLA in MLA format dates are done like this, where you put the number of the month. The month is abbreviated in the middle, and so we have over here FEB period, and then the date or the year comes after that. So if you have something that is today's 5 JUL period 2020. That's the way we do dates in those citations for your works cited page. And in MLA format, the great thing is if you don't have any of the information, you just skip it and just put in what you do have. So if you don't have a date of publication, you can't find it on the page, just skip it and continue with what you do have. In-text citation, every time you mention something that in your essay that you read somewhere, you want to put an in-text citation. And it will either be in the sentence itself that you will mention the thing on the citation beginning on the works cited page, or so that the reader can find it, can go back there and look. And I've given all these crazy examples here with Wes Craven in horror movies, but if you mention it in the sentence Wes Craven, then your works cited entry would have Craven, comma Wes, and your reader will be able to find it. If it's an article and you don't have an author's name, and then you want to mention the article in your sentence. The other way to do it is if you don't mention it in the sentence, you put it in parentheses at the end. That's why we call this parenthetical citation. So Craven, or whatever it is that starts with your title. So if you have a title that says Global Goals, then in parentheses at the end, you would have quotation, global goals, quotation, in parentheses there. So it's fairly straightforward. It seems a little overwhelming, but it really isn't that hard to do. Remember, if you are directly quoting something, you put it in quotation marks. If it is a paraphrase or a summary, you still need to cite it. You need an in-text citation, and you need a citation on the works cited page so that the reader can go from the in-text citation to that. While so for anything, here's the rule for when do I cite it. If there's anything that you looked up and you wrote down to take and took notes on that you didn't automatically already know yourself, then you need to cite it. So we don't want to have any plagiarism, and there's always an easy way with MLA citation so that you don't ever plagiarize. So when you get to a religion course or a sociology course or whatever course you're going to take, that's the thing for those courses too. Anytime you looked something up and read it in a book, in an online article, on a web page, wherever you looked it up and found that information, you have to cite it. And always remember to ice your quotations. You want to introduce it. Sometimes I have put on your paper, it needs a signal phrase, and by that I mean you want to introduce it. Some people call that an attributive tag. So you could say, according to Wes Craven, comma, that would be, a signal phrase or an attributive tag. That's the way you introduce it. Then you use the proper citation at the end of your quotation. So either within the sentence, as we said, or in the parentheses at the end. And then you're going to explain it. So you ice it, you introduce it, you cite it, and then you explain it. And that's probably the most important part, because this is your writing and this is your analysis and this is your persuasion. And so you need to explain to the reader how this information that you're putting in there ties into what it is that you're trying to get across to them. So that document is there for you to look back at. You can go back and look at this video with me and go through it again. If you need help with it, let me know, and I can do my best to help you with it too. There is a sample introduction, persuasion outline, this kind of an instructional outline, and this is what I said This also has some information about Works Cited for you to see. So this is my introduction that I did to Goal 5, and set up in proper MLA format, so you can see that. And then here is the, trying to get my little mouse doesn't like it, doesn't want to work here. Here we go. So I put my introduction in here. So here's what you want to do. Your reader does not know what the global goals are. You need to tell them. Your reader does not know what Goal 5 is. You need to tell them. And so I have put, feel free to pattern your introduction after mine, but you need to start with something that's going to get their attention. Remember the attention getter. So I started here according to the United Nations Sustainable Global Goals webpage, and see I have that's my signal phrase, my attributive tag. And then I have used quotation marks because I used their exact words. Globally, 750 million women and girls were married before the age of 18, and at least 200 million women and girls in 30 countries have undergone FGM. And my quote only said FGM, did not explain what FGM was. I wanted my reader to know what it was. So in brackets, anytime you add something or change something in a quotation, you use brackets. I put in female genital mutilation. And then, because I did not have this, according to the United Nations webpage, is not what I listed on the Works Cited page. So I need something that my reader can find on the Works Cited page. So here is my parenthetical citation at the end with that first title. You don't have to put the whole title in there. You want your reader to be able to find it. And so here I use the Sustainable Development Agenda. And later on, I just put Goal 5 because I didn't have anything else on my Works Cited page that started with Goal 5. You need to put more words if you have similar titles, but I did. Now here's where I said ignore these subheadings here. I put these in here just to let you know this is what comes next, your background information. And that's where you explain the severity of the problem, and you bring in evidence to back that up. And then your solution 1, solution 2, solution 3 should all have topic sentences, and then you're going to have a paragraph of opposition and refutation, and then your conclusion. But those subheadings are just there to let you know what comes next and was not intended for you to use subheadings. And then I included the Works Cited page with, see, gender equality comes before Goal 5 because E comes before O. Spotlight is an S, so it goes after the G's over there. And then the sustainable, I have a T, and then UN, and then women. And so that's the alphabetical order. Notice they're all in hanging indents. They're very easy to read, and so a reader can go back there and find the information very easily. All right, now that gives you what your introduction should have, your background paragraph should have, the explanation of the severity of the problem, and then you're going to give the solutions in each paragraph. After you finish a paragraph, and all of that needs to be backed up with evidence that you found. So lots of citations in there because I know you had to look up that information. And then once you cover all 3 solutions, then you're down to writing a refutation paragraph. This is a link that you can click on. It is a great little site that explains what a refutation is. It gives you some good information about how to start a refutation paragraph out, even some language to use. And And so that's something for you to use. And then writing a conclusion paragraph is also there. And even better than that, I have given you this sample core project for essay here. This is written by a former student. He made an A on his paper. And so I wanted you to be able to see what an A paper looks like. It's not going to have to be, a 20-page essay. I just want like 5 pages. I want 5 to 6 resources, and that's what it looks like over there. My Grammarly is trying to attack me here. Okay, so here's how he started out. According to, let's see if I can get rid of this over here. X that out. All right, and so I can find my thing here. Okay, according to livescience.com, there's his signal phrase. An estimated 18 million acres or 7.3 million hectares of forests, which is roughly the size of the country of Panama, are lost each year. And then there's his citation, Bradford. So I'm going to look back on his works cited page. I made some comments on here too, so you can see what each part of his paper was. Let me get back to the works cited page. Come on. Okay, see, he went over a little bit onto the 6th page, so he met the length of the page. It's a good thing I have a touch screen here, so I can, when my mouse fails, I can do this. Okay, so here's his works cited, and then he's got, if you have numbers come before letters. So if you have a title that starts with a number like 50 recycling and trash statistics, then that comes first, even before A. And then he's got his B's here, and there his Bradford Alma. And that is, so it matches what he's got. His is laid out perfectly. I'm not going to read his whole essay to you, but you can go through and look at that and pattern yours after what he did, because that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm hoping to get from your essay. So if you get all the information in that he got in, then you should be good to go. Feel free to mimic his organization, the way he sets up his in-text citations and his works cited entries. Feel free to mimic any of that, but under no circumstances whatsoever are you to copy any of his paper. That was his work, and you can do your own work, and it's going to be great. Okay, so back to the works cited page, or back to the middle page here. Let's look at this. When you get your rough draft put together, I want you to submit it to Smart Thinking. You can use this link right here. And right here, I included an assignment summary that you can copy and paste so that the tutor will know what you're writing about and know what to look for as he or she is looking over your essay. So feel free to copy and paste that into your Smart Thinking submission so that, when you get to that Smart Thinking. There is a journal here for you to add your Smart Thinking feedback once you get that back. And then here is the link to submit your essay. It is not due till the 26th, so you have time. But but the week after that, we'll have also the final exam essay to do. So please work diligently on this. We won't have a lot of time at the end for more time to complete the assignment, so get it done now. And if you need me, if you get stuck on something and you need some help, please ask me, because I'll be delighted to help you. I'd like to see you do well on this. It counts 20% of your grade, just as the annotated bibliography or works cited document counts 20% of your grade. That's a good chunk. So, and then with the final exam essay at the end of the course, at the very end, the last week, July 20th through 26th, that will be 10%. So 50% of your grade is yet to be here. You can get an extra 100 here instead of a 0 by posting your feedback from Smart Thinking. So do everything I can to help you and help you to be successful, so that you'll have been through a research paper and you'll know how to do it the next time in another course when someone asks you to do it. Okay, well, that's all for now, and I will talk to you soon.